So, welcome everybody to today's webinar. Today's webinar is about managing variability of products within Codebeamer and beyond. And I think the emphasis today is on and beyond. We will get to the explanation what that would mean. But in the and beyond, that's where my colleagues from Pure Systems come to play. And we will today show you variant management that is being driven from a solution outside of Codebeamer, which would be Pure Variants from Pure Systems, the company. You will see how you can use a solution like Pure Variants for doing holistic variant management. The explanation of the details will follow in the presentation. Before we start, this is the agenda. So I will present today's speakers. Then we will start the topic of managing variability with Codebeamer and Pure Variants. There will be some slides that my colleague Oliver Becker will explain from the Pure System side. Then my colleague Patricia will take over and do some practical demonstrations of how that looks in the tool. And we have also another colleague, Rachna Harsh from Pure Variants, from Pure System, sorry, who will help us with some in-depth questions during the show. Okay, then I will introduce or say a few words at the end for Nanga Systems. So we are a Codebeamer and a Pure Variants partner. So I will explain why we are the right fit for projects of this sort. And then we have a Q&A session. For the questions that come up during the webinar, if you have something, please put it in the question tab or in the F&A or Q&A tab that you have within Zoom. After the meeting is finished, we will go through the questions. Anything that is being left open, we will supply afterwards. Okay. So today's speakers, Patricia Meyer. She's a colleague of mine. She's an IT consultant at Nanga Systems. She started pretty much the same time as I did, April 21. And she's our main expert on the topic of Pure Variants, the solution from Pure Systems. And she will run through the demonstration, the practical demonstration today. She's living in Ulm, as you can see, with a nice Ulmer Dome. I guess most of the people know that. So let's continue. The next one is Rachna Harsh. I hope I pronounced the name right, Rachna. If not, scold me afterwards. So you are new with Pure Systems, and you are here to go for the detailed questions. So if we come up with any questions from a technical side, please jump in after the presentation and help us answering those questions. You're an application engineer at Pure Systems. You've got experience in MBSE and systematic variant management. And you live in Bremen, which we, of course, had to take Bremer Stadtmusikanten to present Bremen. Very good. Oliver Becker. Oliver Becker is the head of channel and alliance management since November 2020. So he's our main contact with Pure Systems. Anything that we do, we discuss with him. He's got 20 years of experience, or more than 20 years of experience in business applications of different sorts. So product line engineering, PLM solutions, ERP solutions, you name it. He lives in Stuttgart, or between Stuttgart and Karlsruhe, with his wife and his daughter, and there seem to be vineyards around his area. So it looks like a pleasant place to be too. Last but not least, my name is Lars Josten. I'm the sales lead at Nanga Systems since September 21. I also have 20 plus years experience in systems engineering. I live in Esslingen. You can see the very nice shot of Esslingen downtown city. I can only emphasize it's a very beautiful town. And I live here with my wife and my 4 kids. And yeah, that's about it. So I pass on to Oliver. Maybe Oliver, you can take over the lead of the slides. I will stop my sharing, and Oliver will guide you through some basic introduction of variability and also of Pure Variants. Oliver?
Yeah. Thank you, Lars. Thank you for this warm welcome. So please let me share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I think you can see it now. Yeah, so yeah, once again, my name is Oliver. And before we come to the major topic of today's webinar, the Codebeamer and the Codebeamer integration, I would like to prepare a little bit the ground for you. So let me come back one step back, and I would like to ask a question. So why do we need variability? What is the reason that we are talking about variability and management of variability within a Codebeamer? So what is the reason behind that? And the reason is, I think, quite easy, because today's challenges we are facing too. So our modern world, let me say modern world, requires more and more individual products. The complexity of products is constantly increasing. You see that from different kind of products. Even if you buy a bicycle, it has components with software, components with electronics, and so on. So more and more mechanical products get also parts or shares of software and electronics. And the customer expect improvements along the whole life cycle of their products. They are not any longer happy when they buy a product and after 10 years they have still the same product. Think about your electrical car, for example. Think about your Tesla or other cars. So you buy the car, you buy the hardware, and the hardware will remain, but within this 5, 6, 7 years when you're driving this car, the software, the functionality, the features will improve dramatically, even if you're using the same car and the same hardware. So, and this fact, this is also a good opportunity for new business models. So you can use this fact that you can improve the product. So you can use this fact also to improve your business models, to sell additional features to your existing customers and things like that. So you see there are lots of reasons or lots of reasons why why we are facing new challenges. So, and now, what does it mean? New challenges require also new methodologies. That's quite easy. And there is one thing I don't want to talk about today, but most of you are, I think you are familiar with it. This is systems engineering. And systems engineering, according to ISO standard 15288 and other standards. So yeah, this is one thing how you can manage these new challenges with this methodology of systems engineering. And there's another one, possibly this is not so well known at the moment. This is product line engineering. But there's also a standard behind the ISO 26580. And this will also help you to manage these challenges. And to make it short, it is about the reuse and the variability of modules, modular systems and software platform. More or less, this is what it covers, this standard. And yeah, the big advantage is that you are able to have a high amount of that you have a high rate of reuse, that you use modules like Lego stones, for example, and you can reuse it for different kind of products. But this automatically leads to a consequence. This is a little bit like you have two sides of the same coin. You have the advantage of this methodology, but on the other side, it will lead to variance for sure, because you reuse a set of components of modules, and this will lead to variance, to a large number of variants. And so now this is the reason why a PLE methodology requires a tool which manage this large number of variants, and it should be in a traceable and a safe and an efficient way. And I think I don't tell you a secret when I say that one of the most known variant management tools at the moment is Excel. So lots of companies, they use Excel in this example. So you can see you have lots of line or rows with different features, and on the other side you have this different kind of variants, and you have lots of crosses. But to be honest, is this really traceable? Is this really safe? Is it really efficient? How you can make sure that the variant consists of the right crosses? Because possibly if you select feature 1, you can't select feature 2 because that's not possible to build this product. Or if you select feature 5, you should also decide between 7 and 8 because this is something what is linked to this feature. So you see there, you're facing lots of problems. And so this is the reason why we think there's a much better way how you can solve this problem. You can do it with a tool, and this is called pure variance. And you can do it in just 4 steps. So how do we do it? First of all, We call it single source of truth. So we put all the knowledge about a product line in a consistent and rule-based feature model. This is a little bit like the Excel sheet, but with much more intelligence in the background, and it makes it really more secure and traceable. So in the second step, and now this is important because this is what we are doing with Codebeamer, but also with other engineering tools, we connect these features with the Codebeamer requirements. So we have a relation between the Codebeamer requirement and a feature. And how it works in detail, you will see later on in the presentation when Patricia is doing the presentation. So step number 2, we link the engineering assets with our central feature model. In step number 3 now, someone has a really nice front end, and this person is able to configure a variant out of this product line feature model. So we have the 150% feature model, and out of this 150% feature model, we can generate a particular product which exactly fits to our requirements. And in the last step now, we press the button, and then we get automatically out of this variant the suitable requirements catalog in Codebeamer. So, and if we have it linked with Codebeamer, we get it out of Codebeamer, but we can get it also out of other engineering tools. We will see today based on Codebeamer, but you can imagine that will work also with other engineering tools. And this is now traceable, this is safe, this is efficient. And even if your feature model or your product line will grow within the next years, because usually a product line exists for 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, even it is getting more and more complicated, we are using still the same methodology, the same rules. These are rules in the background. So you have always control about your product line, even if it is getting more and more complicated. Yeah, and last but not least, I've mentioned it several times. Today we will see how it works with Codebeamer, but you can see it is a holistic approach, and that means we can link this feature model with Codebeamer, but also with other tools, and all together we have around 20 standard integrations to different engineering disciplines. And yeah, today we will focus on Codebeamer. And I think now, Lars, I will switch to the next slide. This is your turn. Before we pass it to Patricia. Thank you.
Super, thank you very much, Oliver. So like Oliver described, this is the general approach to variant management, variability, and how pure variance solves it. I want to just quickly deep dive in 1 or 2 slides in Codebeamer. So today's webinar is the combination of pure variance and of Codebeamer. And the Codebeamer is an ALM solution, which is sold by PTC. It's a very modern web architecture. And the general features that you would see here from a Codebeamer side are, it's a holistic interface. So you have all the you have all the innovative and modern environments you can put it in. You have a on-prem solution, you have web, and you have SaaS-based solutions, depending on what your preferences are. It's a very open architecture because ALM is only one part of the systems engineering infrastructure. So there's REST and Swagger APIs, you have different databases that are supported, and you of course have a RecIF for the exchange of requirements with other solutions that are present at vendors or your customers. And you have OSLC that basically connects a complete systems engineering environment. Scalable, horizontal, and vertically. So there's all the things you want to do. I think the largest implementations are way beyond 5,000 users, but also starting at only 5 to 10 users. So it fits all sizes. You have clustering options if performance is an issue. And I think most important is you have templates out of the box. So depending on the industry you come for, you always have different regulations. In automotive, for example, that would be ISO 26262. In the medical, you have FDA requirements. In avionics, you have the DO 178 and so on. So we have prepared templates that you can apply on Codebeamer and start working. And then you have the way to jumpstart projects rather quickly than having to design and manage and define all the processes and templates beforehand. Thank you. Oliver, maybe the next slide. So that's variant management. So maybe let me quickly switch to my slide deck. Maybe you can unshare for a second. And I will share mine. I've got 2 more slides. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Hold on. I have 2 more slides that I want to show. This one here. So this is the slide that we saw. What I want to point out is, where do you see the ALM application? The ALM application is the one in the red. And you can see it has very—
Hey, Lars.
Yes?
We are not seeing your screen shared, unfortunately.
Oh, nothing? Okay, hold on a second. Let me try again. Okay, I missed one click. It should be better now. Yeah.
Yes, now we
Okay,
can
super.
see your screen.
Thank
Perfect.
you for the hint. Thank you, Kabila. So again, I just want to quickly show you where's ALM placed within the V model. It's very nice way to explain it. The red is basically where the application lifecycle management resides. Yeah, so you have requirements management, test management, software development, and all the processes around that, change, defect, and task management. And you can already see there's a very fine line that you have towards other solutions like PLM, PDM. You also have integration points in the area of designing. You know? And all these things, there's a traceability horizontally and vertically in such a solution. Last but not least, I want to just give you a quick overview of what you will see in the demo that Patricia is opening up now. This is the screen that you will see from all the starting points from the demonstrations of Patricia. Just to give you an idea, this is a Codebeamer interface. It's fully web-based. And you can see on the left side here, you can see the outline of the Codebeamer document. So it's like an outline in Word that you can see. And this is a requirements document that's shown here. In the middle part, this is the view on the document. So this is where you edit, where you add, where you delete and change requirements. On the right side, and this is why I wanted to show this, is very nicely and tightly integrated to pure variant integration. You don't even see that's a different application. It's in your web interface. And here you can see a feature model. And this is how the integration works. So you can modify things on the Codebeamer side, which will affect the feature model, or you can choose a variant here. And then it affects your document and basically shrinks it down to the requirements that are needed for such a specific variant. So this is for orientation. I think you should now know when you see the presentation what it is all about. And I would now stop sharing and I would pass it on to Patricia for the demonstration of the solution itself. Patricia?
Thanks, Lars. So, okay. We will now start. Before having the deep dive into Codebeamer and pure variants, I shortly want to present you a wrap up about the variant management. As Oliver already told, normally we have on the left side in here, we have product line, sorry. And all the information about the product line is stored in the so-called feature model. It's the 150% document, like he called it the single point of truth, I guess. And out of this feature model, we can now build up different variants for our specific product variants. So for our example today, we use the car-light example with the car-light features. We are producing like car lights. You can imagine we have like a lot of different possibilities to configure car lights. And of course, we have not just the possibilities of configuration. We have as well some restrictions. Maybe we have some, have some different regions, or we have some different guidelines and laws we need to fulfill with our product. So this is the example for all the previews in the Codebeamer area we will see or is used. What we will see in the next around 20 minutes, I guess, is how we can work together with Codebeamer, how we can work together with pure variants. So like Lars already told, it's like a new connector Pure provides since the version 6.0. We will see how to restrict requirements directly in Codebeamer with Pure. We will add some calculations to our requirements. We will use the preview feature Pure provides us in Codebeamer to see a variant-specific document. And of course, then we will switch to the web client in Pure and see the transformation. Oliver already talked about this one, the transformation to Pure and the connector. Here we will see the enumeration transformator and the working set transformator. And last but not least, we will have a deep dive into the compare and merge topic. That means how we can compare and merge product line and variant specific changes. First topic is how to restrict the requirements in Codebeamer. So as well, in here, it's the nice picture Lars showed you. We have on the left side, just for wrap up, on the left side, we have our system requirement specification. And in the middle, we have our document with all the document content. And on the right side, we have in-tool integration with the feature model from Pure Variants. The feature model listed here, and of course, all the requirements in the documents are from the Collide example I presented you some minutes ago. So for the first thing, we want to add a restriction to a requirement to the selected one, to the 1.1 beam pattern requirement for the regions Canada and USA. Therefore, in Codebeamer, we have just to edit, select the ones and add the restriction, and go on and type in the restrictions we want to add here for Canada and the USA, and automatically, Pure provides you an auto fill out function that provides you from making some arrows. I will show it you again. Sorry. So we have the auto fill out section. We can apply it, and now just that easy, we added a restriction to a specific requirement into Codebeamer. On the next example, I want to show you how we could add some calculations to a requirement. So we had a restriction. This is nice, but maybe we want to add some more specific things, and not just for a specific variant, maybe for the whole feature model. In here as well, start screen, we have our 150% requirement specification document with the outline on the left side, and on the right side, our feature models with all the specifications available in the feature model. So we will start in here for another requirement. We want to add a calculation for this 4.2.3 requirement. So in here we have an attribute with a specific value in it. You can see the value 100. And now we want to like remove it and add a calculation instead here. So therefore, we just added the requirement in Codebeamer and remove the specific value. And instead of the value or the number, we can just add like some square brackets as syntax in here, and that's it. Like the calculation is inserted. Now, of course, we have to set up and define what we want to like insert in here. So therefore, we have to open the calculation function in pure, and then write down the name of the feature. As you can see in here as well, we have the auto fill out function to prevent some errors. So we can use the right one, apply it, and automatically had filled it in the requirement. So the value behind this is now going to be added into all the requirements for the specific for a specific requirement. Of course, this was just an example. You can like use a lot of more calculations, but yeah, as an easy example for you to see how it works. In our third one moment. So now we want to see like the preview of the variance of a variant specific requirement in Codebeamer. Therefore, we start with the normal start screen. In this example, we're going to work with the Highlight USA variant model. First point is to choose the right variant model, and then just go to the preview icon up in here, and it needs a while, and then you can see the Codebeamer site or Codebeamer document site refreshes. So you can see in here you have now like flag requirements, and you have like these grayed out requirements 1.2.2 and 1.2.3, and these are the requirements that weren't used in this specific variant, and all the flag requirements are used in the specific variant you choose. So in the preview, to sum it up, you just have like the 150% document, and then based on that, you have just like mentioned, or you can see in the preview which requirements are like variant specific used or not. And of course, you can see down in here, that's the value we worked on in the last, or during the last example. We added like the calculation in here, and as you can see, it's just replaced from the calculation with the value 100, because it's like the value 100 is used here. So we have now more examples for you. The next one is about to generate a variant specific requirement in the web client from Pure. And we're going to use the enumeration transformator to bring it back to Codebeamer. in here, we're working as well on the variant model highlight USA. So first thing is we're going to like select this one, and we're going to open the web client from Pure Variants. Now it's working with the pencil icon up in here, so you can like directly opens up Pure out of Codebeamer. So this is the web UI from Pure. On the left-hand side, you have like the configuration space with all the stored variant models in it. And we're now going to like, work on this one. We choose like the enum transformation. So like in the pick list up in here, you have like the possibility to choose like every connect to every transformator to every possible connector Pure provides. In this case, of course, we're using like Codebeamer. While it's running, you get a message up in there, and you get a message when it's done. Up in here, important thing is while the job is running, you can still work in the background, so that's not like a problem. To see if something changes in Codebeamer, and if we now have like the highlight USA variant model stored in there, we just need to go back into the Codebeamer view and refresh the view once. You see we have now on the right-hand side some modified date and some new one new field like the variance highlight USA in here. These are the details, what's going on in here. And you can now change the view and can directly see where this field PV variance is used in the highlight USA variant model. The second transformator Pure provides to Codebeamer is the working set transformation. As well, we start here in Codebeamer and have first to select the variant, and we're going with the highlight USA variant as well, and opens up the web client for Pure. So on the left-hand side, we have as well the config space. And in this example, we want to like change, make a variant change. That means we want to change one value, the LED value. It's now set up for 100, and we want to change it to 120. So this change is not affecting like the superset architecture. This change will just like affect the specific variant highlight USA in here. To transform the whole thing and to change to Codebeamer, we have to as well start a transformator job or transformation. This time we're going to select the working set transformation for Codebeamer. And as like before, you get informed while it's working, and when it's done, you can go back to Codebeamer and just set it in here. So up in there on the working set, you can choose between different working set you want to work in. Every time you run the transformation working set, at least one new working set is created. In this time, we have the highlight USA, the below working set. This is the one they created with the last transformation job. We can now switch to that and open it. Scroll down, so we have like here the variant model with all the requirements, and we can see this is the requirement with the like changed value in the configuration model in Pure and the web client, and it's already also highlighted that it's updated just on this specific variant model. So to go with the co-evolution of Codebeamer, as I said before, another really important thing is the compare and merge function. So as you can see, we can have like changes in our product line, and as well we can have changes down in our variant model. When we have changes or when we have our product line asset, after performing a transformation, all the data is copied to a so-called like update reference here in variant A, and as well like a variant working copy. And when we now have like changes to the working copy, like especially changing a value from 100 to 120, like making a variant modification, a new variant called in this place TO++ working copy is created. If we're now going to like modify the product line, a new product line asset is created with like in the right corner here, like T1. It's so-called, it's 150% of our data. And we can now use like and we have created a new reference copy with all the new assets as well. We can now use the compare and merge function to like combine a new variant, which has like all the variant modifications from TO++ and the new product line assets in it. To show you, I want to show you how this works in the tool right now in our last example. So this time we're going to choose the variant highlight Canada. And as well, we start in the web client from Pure Variants and create an transformation with the Codebeamer working set. So in here now for the working set transformation, we enabled the update support in Pure for this variant. When we're now back in Codebeamer, we can see that this working set created like one working set for Highlight Canada and one with the enabled update reference on it. So this is the first step. The second is we want now to change the 150% document. So we want to have like a product line change. Therefore, we choose a requirement and just edit it and save it. So you can see while saving requirement in Codebeamer, you automatically get highlighted that there were some changes in it. So the next step is we want to like update the reference and go for the updated reference document. And as well, we can see in here, we got the notification that is on the 150% document. This requirement was updated, but the changes are not visible in here. So it's like, it's the old one. And while checking the highlight Canada requirement without the update function on, we can't see any notification in here, so we got not informed about the product line change. Next thing is we want to do a variant change in here. For this one, we choose like a requirement and edit it like before. And as well, we got like an update, we changed it, and it's there. So when we now, when we're now going to switch back to the web client, we want to like modify our variant highlight Canada. In this case, we're going to like deselect the fog lights. This is our change. And of course, we have to run a new transformation into Codebeamer that we can be able to see the changes in Codebeamer as well. When this one is done, we can just switch back, refresh the view. And see the notification in here on the variant that, yeah, this one requirement was highlighted, yeah, edited. For now, bringing back all the changes from the product change and the variant change, we can choose in Codebeamer the merge from parent branch. And now get the possibility to like apply all or to like select one or several specific changes we want to like add. In this case, it only makes sense to delete all the requirements where the fog lights were used in, because as you can remember, we deselected them from the variant. We can merge it, and we're now able to see like the one or the new working 100% working copy with all the changes from the product line and the variant modification we did. And if you remember in the last picture, it was the last variant, the T1 document in here. So these were all the like practical examples we provided. I now want to switch back to, I think, Lars.
Yes. So if you stop sharing, thank you a lot, Patricia.
Yes.
Let me share my screen and I will do this right this time. So you should see my screen. I just want to quickly wrap up this discussion or this webinar by presenting Nanga. Like I said initially, so Nanga Systems, just a few words about Nanga. We've got 5 locations worldwide. We were founded 2014, about 55 employees, number raising steadily, and the same on the customer side, so approximately 300 customers, 350 customers. What we do is we are a full service provider. We do consulting, implementation, and support. We do software reselling, and for all the software we resell, we do the consulting, implementation, and support. And we have our own product development, which are mainly add-ons to the solutions that we resell for enhancement of usability or integration purposes. A very quick overview of the customers that we have. All I can say here, if you want to exchange with a customer of ours, please approach us. We'd be happy to set up a reference call. And maybe one word towards today's topic. We will supply the recording of this webinar. We will supply all the slides. You can read through all the information afterwards. So we were very happy as Nanga Systems to become a partner of Pure Systems because what we are experiencing, we are a systems integration, we're systems engineering integration company. So we sell different point solutions. We are in charge of integrating those via standards like OSLC so that you have a traceability, which is required by many standards. And we have experienced you can do variant management in every single discipline that you have. So you can do variant management in requirements, in the testing, in the model-based environments. But then you only have these variants produced within these different domains, and you would have to pull them together afterwards in a manual effort. And then we discovered Pure Variants. And what Pure Variants does is it takes away all that manual configuration and puts it in the center of all the systems engineering R&D infrastructure, and does all the handling of the variants in the product lines in a central and in a holistic way, and then just draws on artifacts. So this is a very, very good approach of doing product line engineering and variant management. And that's why we, since we know the systems engineering world and we know Pure Variants and Pure Systems, we are the partner of choice for such ventures. So we saw there's quite a few questions that came up. And I realized we had some trouble answering them. So maybe, Rashna, you can open your microphone and we can just take a very quick look at the questions that we received, and maybe you can answer them verbally. Maybe that's the easier option.
Yeah, sure. So the first question that we received was, is there a limitation to type of calculations that can be created? And is there a performance hit over as the database grows? So we do not have a limitation to the calculations. So we have a calculation syntax in Pure Variants, and wherever in whichever requirement you add the square brackets, which is by default the syntax, you will be able to add a calculation. And this syntax can also be changed while you are configuring the properties in Pure Variants. So you can either add a constant value or you can insert a formula over here to get the answer. And what I would like to also add is the performance does not get affected with the growth in the database. So this was about the first question that we received. And the second question says, can we check the affected requirements in document view? So if I understood the question correctly, whenever you are having a look at the preview, this is basically what will your final document post transformation look like. So the calculations are also resolved in the preview. You will be able to see the values as well. But once you perform a transformation, as it was shown in the demonstration, you will finally be able to receive a variant specific document, or as we call it, the 100% document. So these were the two questions I had in here, but if you guys have more, please feel free to write it down in the Q&A.
Super. Thank you, Rashna, for answering them on the fly. And thanks for supporting us here. I would suggest, I mean, we've used 50 minutes, so it was a quite extensive presentation. I do really hope that you have a lot of information that you can take home to consider. I just want to tell you, we will be very happy if you approach us for more in-depth demonstrations or questions you might have. And anything that comes up, please write it in the chat. We will take it. We will put it. We will answer it afterwards. We've got all the contact details. And I think for now, I would like to thank everybody. Yeah, Patricia, Rashna, Oliver for your participation, and also the man in the background for helping us making this a smooth presentation. And everybody who attended for your time. I look forward to have further discussions with you. And for now, I wish you a very nice afternoon and take care. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.